while you were popping pills?
I had a lot of stress going on or whatever. And it was on and off thing anyway, but then I was just back on.
Was there a particular incident that caused you to start?
I had lost my son in 2020, and I just went back on. Got back on.
You had been on them before?
Yes, man, I had been on before.
And he at some point stopped?
Stopped.
And after your son
got killed after stop a pop.
And that's through that course you got to know Mr. Govan.
Yes, ma'am.
Where would you meet Mr. Govan?
At first Bobby started going to get the pills from him, and then one particular day Bobby ain't want to go, so I went and got something from him myself.
Okay, and where was that at?
At his home on Bradley Street, I believe.
It was at home. How did you know this where he was?
Because I used to be right across the street at Bobby's house, you know what I'm saying, from his house.
So you've always gone to Bobby's house?
Yeah, I used to hang out with Bobby.
So let's go back to mid-summer or so, however you say it, of 2021, when you first came into contact with Mr. Govan. At what point did the situation change from you, or did it change from you buying pills from him to something else?
I guess after a couple runs of going to buy pills on my own from him, he started asking me I want to make some money. He knew ways I get some money. I'm like, yeah.
Did you want some money?
Yeah, because sometimes I go to him and ask, can I get a couple pills on credit? So, that was when you want to make some money? I'm like,
yeah. And why did you need money? Were you working at the time?
Yeah, nah, not really. I wasn't just working like that. I couldn't just keep a job with a pill habit like that. I ain't gonna lie.
Okay. So you wanted money. What did you want money for?
A lot of different reasons. Make sure my children were straight, pop me a couple pills, make sure I was good. A lot of different reasons.
And how many children did you have at the time?
I had 5. I got 5 now, but I had 6.
6 altogether. But
yeah, it was after my son got killed. I had 5.
And who is the mother of those kids?
Letitia Jackson.
So you wanted money to make sure your kids were okay. You popped a few pills, and you'd be all right.
Yes,
did you have a girlfriend at the time?
Yes, ma'am.
What's your girlfriend name?
Miss Angela.
Miss Angela. Does Angela have a last name? Arnold?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So, 5 kids, a girlfriend,
yes,
and a pill head.
Yes, ma'am.
All right. So at some point, Mr. Govan asked you if you wanted to make some extra money.
Make some money.
And how were you supposed to make extra money?
Well, he told me that, it was a little bound on a couple paper out here.
Okay, I ain't understand nothing you said.
It was a hit on it was a hit at the time on a couple guys in paper out here or whatever.
Okay, and what were some of those individuals' names, if you can recall?
Paper out Woo, Young Dolph. I don't know all the names because I ain't know exactly who they were.
At what point did he mention the actual boundaries, as you say?
One night leaving getting some pills, he mentioned the prices on, who had 50 on his head, Young Dolph had 100 on his head, somebody had 5 on their head, 10 on their head. He mentioned the prices too.
So it was almost like a catalog. This person costs this much. This person costs this much.
Who had money on their head, who had the most money on their head,
and who had
Young Dolph had the most money on his head.
And he had 100,000.
100,000 on his head. And
when you say his head,
I mean, if you kill Young Dolph, you get $100,000.
Okay. at some point you will testify that about the shooting of young Dolph, is that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Prior to that, were you involved in any other shootings?
Well, one day, Mr. Govan had provided me with a gun, and he told us that Paper Route Rule was at home one day. So as we approached the house, with me, Bobby, Justin, and another guy, I don't know the other guy's name. Bobby dropped me off. I get out walking on foot. Paper Route Rule coming out the house, and he had his gun in his hand at the time. And I was walking up the street, and me and him had a shootout or whatever. And the gun he provided me had jammed up. So, I had to duck and Bob and weed, and Bobby had got to me. We got in the car and went back to his house and reported what had happened to him. And he was glad I ain't get killed that day right there. But Bobby was like, he wasn't messing with this stuff because he was believing what Justin them told him about. We messed it up or whatever. And we didn't have our masks on and all this. So Bobby felt that.
Was there an incident with Paper Route Rule that you're aware of prior to the incident where you were involved?
Nah, I don't know nothing else about like no incident with Paper Route. Just this shootout that I had with him. That's all I know about it. And he was saying that like he was going.
Who was he?
Mr. Govan was saying he was going.
Let me stop you. Did you call him Mr. Govan?
Nah, I called him Quick. Him
Alright.
Quick. That's what I do.
That was your nickname.
Yeah, Quick.
Would you feel more comfortable calling him Quick?
Yeah, I called him Quick.
Okay.
Quick was saying that he was gonna give a paper out with mama or whatever to find out what they be about, play up on the other, find out who and them be is so we could reach out and touch them, like find out what they is.
Was it just he was going to see where Wu was, or was there other Paper Route artists?
Any one of them, like Wu or anybody in Paper Route, he was gonna make sure that he could play because mama liked him, so he was gonna try to play that father figure and find out what they is and make sure we can reach out and touch them.
So from when you met him in midsummer, the shooting with Paper Route Rule, how far from when you met him to when that shooting was?
I just can't recall, but it wasn't long after I met him though.
It was a couple of days, couple of weeks.
I said a couple of weeks, probably about a month and a half or so. I can't be specific about it. I ain't gonna lie like that.
Were you all looking for specific Paper Route Empire artists?
Yeah, we were looking for whoever we could find. So, at the time like on certain days or what, like we were doing whatever we can. You know what I'm saying?
In regards to the bounty, were there other conversations about the bounty?
Well, after that incident with Paper Route Wood or whatever, and the gun jammed up, like I think probably the next day I pulled up old Quick House or whatever and buy some pills. And when I pulled up, it was a truck sitting in front of the house or whatever.
Okay, what kind of truck?
I can't remember. I ain't gonna lie.
Like an SUV truck or F-150 truck?
Like an SUV truck.
Okay.
But I pulled up and I got out and when he said he was sitting up there with Juke. And he was like, here go little C right here. Here go C right here. So Juke was like, hold up, man. We ain't doing no talking around these phones, take these phones outside.
Who said that?
Juke. Before he got to talking, he was telling him, like, we ain't talking around no phone, take the phones outside.
Who was he telling to take the phone?
He telling Quick that.
Okay.
Take the phones outside.
And then Quick take y'all's phones outside?
Yeah, I gave him my phone. He set them outside on the chair or whatever. And came back in and was like, yeah, this little C right here, this was the one that, you know what I'm saying, shot your whoop. And
Hold on, you did a whole lot of whoop.
Well, basically saying this the one that they shot it, whoop. And this one of the ones that I got to, you know what I'm saying, that I got on the business too. And Juke basically like nodding his head like, y'all gonna get y'all money, y'all handle y'all business, you know what I'm saying? Y'all gonna get y'all money.
What was person you decided to describe as Quick? What was Quick saying?
he was just letting him know that, you know, I was one of the ones that he got on the business, that he got to put the work in or whatever.
Okay.
That he hired for the hit,
Because I'm gonna need you to slow that down. He the one that hired on the business to do what now?
to make one of these, get a hit, do the hit.
Um, I'd like to pass you a photograph. Do you recognize the person in the photograph?
It is quick and big juke.
Okay. Your Honor, if we could have that photograph entered into evidence as the next number you see.
No objection.
This is a picture of two gentlemen, with white shirts, t-shirts on that's been described by the witness as wet and big joke. No markings as exhibit.
Your Honor, before we publish, I would simply just ask if you have a time frame with this photo as far as authentication goes.
So let me mark it. Mark this as exhibit 4 to this hearing. Still,
Do you know when that photo was taken?
Nah, I don't know nothing about these photos. I don't know when they would take.
That photo simply identifies the people you described
Yeah.
as
Quick.
Quick and Juke.
Juke, yeah, fine.
In objection to permission to publish. Your Honor.
yes.
Get out of the way. Say that and it doesn't work. But the individual you described as Juke, is he on the left or right of this photo?
From my end, he's on the right, the big guy, right on the right.
He's on the right. And the individual on the left, who is that?
That's quick.
And Juke is the person, do you know his government name?
No, now since I've been locked up, Anthony Mills, since I've been locked up.
And Quit, you know it's Hernandez Govan, is that correct?
There you go, man.
At some point, I'm sure you all exchange phone numbers.
Me and Quick, I
Okay,
never
and
had Juke no.
you never had Juke's number?
No, I never had no contact with Juke, like how to get into the Juke.
So any conversation about bounties went through Govan, is that
And
correct?
Govan the one that did all the talking.
What name was Quit's, saved into your phone?
I hit it up on the bro.
Bro? Okay. And how many different phone numbers did you have?
Yeah, 2 different numbers.
But they were both on your phone as bro?
Bro.
All right, so at some point, there was more information given, I guess, about the bounties, is that correct?
Yeah, about the balance, it was coming close to Thanksgiving or whatever.
All right, well, let's back up, let's get back to sometime before it starts to get cool. Go back. Was there another individual that was brought into this? Justin Hood.
Johnson.
Okay, and how did you meet Justin Johnson?
I met him through Quick as well.
At what point did you meet him through Quick?
Like around the time we did that, they hit on paper at Woo. When we went and shot at him, like that was like my first initial meet with him around that time.
And you said you met him through Quick or Mr. Govan. How did you meet him? Describe it.
When they found out that Woo was at the house or whatever, me and Bobby would call, and he called Justin up too, and we all met up at his house.
And who was he?
Quick house. We all met up at Quick house, and me and Bobby jumped in one vehicle, and Justin and another guy jumped in another vehicle.
But he was putting you all together.
Yeah, Quick put all of us together.
Okay, and you didn't know Justin before this day?
No man.
Never seen him?
Never seen him. Never met him. I knew nothing about him.
All right, so some point we'll get to November, but what was your interaction with Justin over the course from when you met him?
After we did that and the gun jammed over paper out Woo, Justin then went back and told Quick that me and Bobby so-called messed it up or whatever. So, Quick was like, y'all had y'all masks on. Just them told him we ain't have our masks on. I ain't have my mask.
Govan knew that this was going on, and he asked
Right,
if you have a
he the one
mask.
gave me the gun to go out there.
And he asked if you have a mask.
Right. He asked me.
Okay.
And he was saying like just telling that we messed it up or whatever, and that's when Bob was like he ain't doing nothing with nobody, he ain't getting involved in it or whatever because Quick believe everything Justin them say, and at that time we basically telling me like you would Johnson and you would Justin them, and you know what I'm saying, and the big you want to get the money. Since Bobby acting like he acting, you know what I'm saying?
I don't know what you said.
Since Bobby acting like he acting, he told me to get with Justin and them, since Bobby had pulled out of it.
Oh, Govan told you to get with Justin?
Yeah, Quick told me to get with Justin.
Okay. And what reason was he telling you to get with Justin?
So we go find one of the people around any artists to get this money, and
So, what would Govan gain out of you all getting a bounty or a hit on one of the paper route?
he was getting a cut out of it. He supposed to got $10,000 from me.
No matter who you hit or if it was.
Nah, young dog, he supposed to get 10,000. I did 100,000. I did 50,000 out again. He was getting 10,000.
So throughout the summer, going into the fall, did you and Justin and Govan ever meet?
Yeah, we'll meet up over Quick House. Like we'll go over Quick House, and that's what we always met up here over Quick House.
And then what was the purpose of meeting there?
Really, like we'll meet up over Quick House to talk about a lot of things. Basically, about a ban on somebody, finding somebody. Sometimes we'll watch the games over there. We'll be over there about a lot of things, basically.
But for Govan, you wouldn't have met Justin.
Nah, I wouldn't know met Justin if it wasn't for Quick.
Prior to Mr. Govan telling you about bounties on these PRE individuals, the rappers, artists, were you aware that there were bounties?
No, man. I had no idea about it.
Were you aware of who the PRE artists were?
I knew about Young Dolph, but I didn't know about none of these other artists or nothing like that. I had to Google them and to actually Google them. Once he told me, I had to really Google them to find out.
So there would be, like throughout the summer, you all would meet and he would talk about the bounty.
Talk about the bounty on them. And first we like, man, I was thinking to myself, it's impossible to get Young Dolph, you know what I'm saying? Like, Young Dolph. But, I was thinking to myself that was impossible. So, I had to Google the other guys to see who they were.
Oh, fast forward. Let's get to November. Look, it's the week before Thanksgiving. What was going on here?
He was telling us, they got turkey.
Who was he?
Quick, Govan, quit. I mean, he was telling us that they had turkey drive. Each artist had a different day where they were doing turkey drive or whatever, and that's our opportunity. We can make some shaking.
Okay. When you say make some shake, what's shaking?
Like try to catch them and get money. Do what he don't want to.
Were you aware about this turkey drive prior to Govan telling you that?
Nah, cause I don't know nothing about what paper route do, so I wasn't.
Did you listen to their music before, or did you?
I listen to Young Dolph, but I ain't listen to his artist. I ain't know who his artist was. I listen to Dolph.
So, Govan was telling you about the turkey drive.
Right.
And
me and just.
I'm sorry.
He was telling me and just.
Were y'all together when he was telling you?
Right. At his house.
At his house. Did he mention the bounty? Did he mention the money?
Well, we had already knew the prices on majority of their heads, basically. On everybody else doing the turkey drive, we had already knew the prices already.
Including Dolph.
Including Dolph.
And let's go to November the 16th. of 2021. What were you and Justin doing that day?
Well, he had called me up, he came and picked me up. We had went because they had to take a drive in South Memphis somewhere. And me and him was out, we riding, trying to get one of the artists that day that was doing the drive down there. And as we was out there, I got out on foot. And there was a lot of folks out there standing with guns with us. Justin was in the car. And he called me and told me that he had got a call that young Dolph was at a gas station up the street from where we was at. So I ran back to the truck and I jumped back in the truck. When we got to the gas station, Dolph was gone. So we rode around for a minute, then he dropped me back off at the house. And I laid down that night and he was like, tomorrow we go back out and see what's up.
So on the 16th, at any point, did you think, okay, maybe we have a shot at getting Dolph?
Yeah, because we knew he was in town. We knew Dolph was in the city then, and we knew that tomorrow we were full-fledged then. We know we anything in shape right now. We gonna get somebody. We gonna strike. Tomorrow is our day. We gonna strike somebody. We gonna get lucky tomorrow.
And at any point, did you all have this conversation with Mr. Govan?
Yeah, we were telling him like we really getting close. We getting fed up playing. We finna get somebody basically. And he was like, y'all do y'all thing. Handle y'all business.
And in return, you all were supposed to, you expected to be getting money, so.
Right.
Because that's what he promised you.
All right.
So let me ask you also, one of those, Justin, what did he do for a living?
He was a rapper.
At any point, did you all participate in a music video or anything?
Yeah, I was called by Mr. Govan to be in the video because I don't know Justin like that. So I was in the video, but I didn't want to be in it, so I put a mask on my face.
And when was this video shot?
Like in summertime of 21. I can't tell you the exact date, exact month, not like that,
But it was prior to, was that after
It
the
was
hit
after-
of Who?
it was after that. Yeah, it was after the
But prior to Dolph.
dog. Right.
You have a photograph that is before you, previously been shown to the defense counsel. Do you recognize the contents of that photograph?
Yeah, mine.
And what does that photograph do?
It's the photograph of us in front of the house where y'all found the car shooting a rap video.
And who's all in that video?
Justin, I don't know the other two guys. Hernandez Govan, and I'm standing right behind Hernandez Govan with a mask on my face.
Yana, if we could have that photograph and its evidence as the next number.
So this is a photograph with 5 individuals in the picture. Mr. Govan with a cap on. The witness described himself standing behind Govan with a mask on. You know, individual with a red cap on. Is this Justin Johnson?
Yeah, mine.
Justin Johnson in the picture with the baseball cap on, holding a sack of money. We'll mark this as exhibit 5 to this hearing.
We just asked when that supposedly was. I think you may have
He's
said,
already said it.
so he doesn't know this one.
Hold on, let's mark this, and then you can ask your question before.
Hit that like button, run me up. Hit that like button, bang, bang, bang.
Kevin, you want to ask questions?
I ask you again, do you recall when this was taken? Or the video, excuse me, the photograph that you were just looking at, not this one, but the The one you just handed to
That was the video. I don't know what month it was. I don't know like exact time it was, but I know it was sometime.
It was
It was after the paper I movie. That's all I can say. Like,
Your Honor, who published the picture?
Yes.
Could you describe for the jury what we're looking at here?
there's the video shoot of us at the house across the street from Quick House, across the street from then they go in house.
Who is this individual?
I don't know him.
Who is this?
That's Justin Johnson.
Who is this individual?
I don't know who that is.
Who is this?
That's an Indian Govan.
And who is this individual?
That's me right there.
Why did you have a mask on?
Cause I wasn't part of their little crew, and I ain't want to bring no little beef upon myself. He asked me to be quick, and then they go and asked me to be in the video. That's why I'm standing like right behind him, cause I ain't know nothing about that.
So we're gonna, I know I'm doing some time warping. This was summertime, we're gonna go back to November, at this point, November 17th, right? What was going on that morning? What do you recall about that morning, November 17th, 2021?
It was actually my daughter's birthday. I woke up, I had a missed call from Justin Johnson. So I don't know if I called him back or he called me back, but somehow he got on the phone. We was on the phone, and he was telling me that he was finna pull up on me.
And did you plan to meet him that day?
Yeah, we had been out there before, on the turkey drive or whatnot. That's when they told us Dolph was at the gas station, but he was gone. So the next day we know another turkey drive. So we were gonna get up that day and try to get to that turkey drive.
So this was Wednesday, would you say? If you recall?
I can't recall.
It was November
17th,
17th.
my daughter's birthday.
Alright, so how long from when you received a call from Justin to when he came to get you?
He was close by, so it was like a couple minutes. He was close by. It wasn't long. He was close by.
And I don't know if I asked you before, but how far from Mr. Govan's house to your house? How was that far?
Nah, it wasn't far. A couple minutes. It wasn't far.
So he wasn't far because he came pretty quickly once
Yeah,
he
he
was on.
came fast.
Okay, and when he arrived, what type of vehicle was he?
He was in a white Mercedes Benz.
Had you ever seen him in that white Mercedes?
Nah, I ain't never seen that car before.
What car would you normally see him
In an SUV, like a white truck or something.
in? And did you ask him why he had this?
I ain't asked no questions. I ain't gonna lie. I ain't asked no questions. I just jumped on in there.
Yo, we in the
on
building.
At this point, had your mission changed to Dolph knowing that he was in town?
Yeah, anybody. At this point, anybody, like in paper, right? Anybody.
So he picks you up,
He picked me up.
and where did he pick you up from?
He picked me up from my pop's house. Once he picked me up, we went back to right in front of Govan, and then the Govan house
Okay, stayed on Bradley Street.
on Bradley Street. Yes, ma'am.
And when you went back to Govan's house on Bradley Street, what did you do then?
He jumped out the car and jumped and grabbed somebody out of his Suburban truck.
Could I ask, we identify who the he's are? It's getting very confusing with the hearsay.
I think Ms. Taylor was going to do it. She's been doing a pretty good job at it.
We've got a lot of theys and he's, and it's very confusing.
That's why I asked. So the he that jumped out the car, who is the he?
Justin Johnson jumped out the car and he jumped out the white Mercedes Benz and grabbed something out of his SUV that he had parked by across the street from where his house is, right?
And I didn't ask you, where is this house?
Across the street from the Govan house, where we'll park it hang out here. We'll park in front of his house and go to his house, hang out. Go to
Okay, hold
and
on.
then go
You
Van
go
house.
to he, all right. You
Hold on,
park
then.
in front of Govan's house.
We park at their house and to go over Mr. Hernandez go Van house and hang out.
All right. All right, so Justin got out of the car. Opened the door or something to the SUV, got something out.
Right.
Did he get back in?
Yes, ma'am. He got back in and we took off.
Okay, do you know what he got out of the car?
No, man, I can't remember.
All right. You previously mentioned that you all were kind of on a hunt.
Right.
When you go hunting, you have guns.
Right.
Did you have a gun?
Justin Johnson already had the guns in the car. Prior to me getting in, they was already in the car.
Did you all have masks?
Yes, man, I had my own mask, my own gloves, and Justin Johnson had his own mask and gloves.
At some point, did you put these masks and gloves on?
Yes, ma'am. Once Justin grabbed something out of the white SUV, we proceeded on heading towards Westwood area.
Teenagers are building businesses with AI, while the
Good morning. Good morning. We met last week, but for formality's sake, my name is Iris Williams, and I represent the state of Tennessee. When I was a kid, one thing that my mom always told me is that there are few things that we can control. But one of those things are our choices. Our choices can move mountains. Our choices can get us into trouble. And our choices can mean life and death. Ladies and gentlemen, this case is about choices. You're going to hear a lot of evidence this week. You're going to hear a lot of names. But the name that I want you to remember is Hernandez Govan. And I want you to remember the choices he made. And even more importantly, I want you to remember the consequences of those choices. Picture this. November 17th, 2021. The victim, Adolph Thornton, and his brother. They pull up to Makita's Cookie Shop on Airways Boulevard. They park the car, they get out, they talk to the cashier, and seconds later, a white Mercedes pulls up and Adolph Thornton is gunned down and killed. You'll hear from Dr. Juliet Scantleberry, the medical examiner in this case. She'll tell you that Thornton's body had around 20 gunshot entrance wounds to his neck, his chest, his arms, and a catastrophic injury to his face. But how did we get here? How do we start? Where will we begin? This trial will begin with Erica Thornton. She'll tell you that she is Mr. Thornton's sister. She'll tell you about the last time that she saw her brother alive. And she'll tell you when she heard that he was gone. And after Ms. Thornton testifies, you'll hear from Mr. Raul Hopkins. He'll tell you that he worked for security for Thornton for years. And Adolph Thornton just wasn't Adolph Thornton. He was known across the city as Young Dolph, a musician. His music, his artistry, his journey, his ambition inspired and spoke to this city in ways that a lot of artists just couldn't do. Thornton made his own way in the music industry, and he created a label called PRE, Paper Route Empire. Hopkins will tell us about it. He'll tell us that Adolph Thornton made his way in the music industry and created opportunities for other artists. But when you create opportunities for others, some people don't seem to like that. So Hopkins will tell us about another label, CMG, also known as Cocaine Music Group. He'll tell us about the history and the tension between these two labels. He'll tell us that CMG wanted Thornton as their own, but when he decided to pave his own way, when he decided to be self-made, he became CMG's enemy. Hopkins is going to set the stage for how this story truly began. And after Hopkins, you'll hear from Cornelia Smith. And this is when it all will click. Smith is a co-defendant. He'll tell you that he met Govan in 2021. They met through Smith's friend, Bobby Carter. And Smith has a couple of nicknames for Govan. He calls him Big Bro or Quet. Govan started out by selling drugs to Smith, pills more specifically. But that's not the only thing that Govan did. Govan chose Smith. And Govan chose him to do a job. Govan also chose Justin Johnson, another co-defendant, to do that same job. A job that ended in the life and death of Adolph Thornton Jr. He chose two desperate people. Smith, needing money, needing to support his family. Justin Johnson, an aspiring and up-and-coming rap artist that wanted to be on CMG's label, the very label that Govan had access to and was affiliated with. Smith will also talk about a meeting at Govan's house. The people present at that meeting were Smith, Govan, Justin Johnson, and Anthony Mims, also known as Big Jook. Now, Jook is the number 2 person at the CMG label. Smith will tell you that Govan said that there was a bounty on Adolph Thornton's life. In fact, there were multiple bounties on PRE artists. Govan told Smith that there was a $100,000 bounty on Adolph Thornton's life, and that the money was good. The money was guaranteed if Smith and Johnson completed this job. So what did they do? What did the 2 desperate people do? They agreed. And Govan asked for a $10,000 cut from each of them. He chose to ask for this cut from each of them. And one thing that is important to note is that Smith and Johnson didn't even really know each other, but they knew Govan. Govan was the link between them. So let's fast forward to November 2021. Smith hears that Thornton and other PRE artists are in town. It's Thanksgiving time. PRE often hosts turkey drives at different locations across the city. So they knew that they were around. Justin Johnson picks up Smith from Smith's father's house, and they go hunting. They get to a stoplight on Airways, and at that stoplight, they see a special car pass through. And what is that car? A blue camouflage Corvette. Most people in Memphis know that there is only one person in this city that drives that car in this region of town. Adolph Thornton. So what does Smith and what does Johnson do? They follow that car. They follow that car. The car parks at Nikita's cookie shop. And seconds later, Smith and Johnson pull up in a stolen white Mercedes, gun down, and kill Adolph Thornton Jr. in broad daylight. They get back in the car, speed off, but not before Thornton's brother, Marcus Thornton, fires shots and shoots Smith. So Smith and Johnson are in this stolen white Mercedes.
Imagine being able to build anything just by thinking about it.
They go. They go to ditch the car. They ditch the car, and we'll hear from Sergeant Dabney that the car was left at 1174 Bradley Street, which they later found out is directly across the street from the defendant's home. After they ditch the car, Cornelius Smith and Justin Johnson go to an apartment complex to change clothes and clean up their rooms. Cornelius notices something. He doesn't have his phone. He realizes that he left his phone in the white Mercedes, the murder car that they left across the street from the defendant's house. So what does he do? He uses Justin Johnson's phone to contact his own girlfriend, Angela Arnold, and you will also hear from her. You'll hear from Angela Arnold and you'll hear from Cornelia Smith that she picked him up from that apartment complex. When she picked him up, he told her what happened. He told her that he was hurt. And he told her that he was missing his phone. So what did he do next? Smith contacted Govan from Angela Arnold's phone and asked to meet so he could get his phone back. Ladies and gentlemen, there are copious amounts of phone records, and Sergeant Browning will testify that these call detail records will support what Smith is saying. And if that's not enough, Angela Arnold will tell you that she and Smith met with Govan after the murder so that Smith could get his phone back. But that's not where it ends. Smith will tell you that at that exchange, Govan gave him money to buy a car cover, to hide the white Mercedes, to hide the murder car that was parked directly across the street from his own home. Not only that, but the day before Cornelius Smith was arrested, he ran into Govan. Govan was concerned. Govan was worried that Cornelius Smith had not been paid. And so what did he tell Smith? He told Smith that he was going to go to Privé to make sure Smith got his money. Privé is a lounge and restaurant that's affiliated with CMG artists. Ladies and gentlemen, choices. A choice to get two desperate people to agree to murder Adolph Thornton. A choice to guarantee them money. A choice to ask for a cut of that money. A choice to help one of the killers get his phone back after the murder. a choice to make sure that one of the killers got paid after the murder. Choices. When you hear all of the evidence, and when you hear all of the videos and look at all of the photos and exhibits, you will see the consequences of Govan's actions. Violence, death, loss. A man, a human being, taken from this world in one of the most shocking of ways, getting cookies for his family in broad daylight in his neighborhood during the holidays. At the end of this week, the state will be asking you, the jury, to make a choice. The defendant is charged with conspiracy to commit first-degree murder and first-degree murder. Last week in jury selection, we talked about theories of conspiracy.
Last week, I talked to you guys a lot about first impressions. And the reason I mentioned that is sometimes the first impression can be wrong. I listened to a very beautiful, eloquent speech from the prosecutor in this case, and it sounds really, really good. But that's the false first impression, because you promised that as a peer of Mr. Govan, you would listen to everything. So let me share to you the rest of the story. This entire case is going to come down to the guy with the machine gun that shot off Adolph. The whole case is going to come down to him, and then possibly his girlfriend backing up his story. Remember, Cornelius Smith has made at least 5 different statements to law enforcement over the course of a year where everything changes. He's then met with the prosecution at least 5 or 6 times to go over his testimony prior to testifying here today. So you should ask yourself the question when the judge instructed you, does somebody have a reason to lie? Do they have an interest in the outcome? You are caught red-handed on video, and you're about to see it in a second, taking an AK-47 or lighting it up at a cookie store in broad daylight. He's facing a mandatory life sentence, as I'm going to question him about. And I ask each and every one of you, what would you do if you were facing a mandatory life sentence to get out of it? Why would you need to make so many different statements if you were telling the truth? Because remember, the truth is the truth. You don't need to practice it. You don't need to remember it. It's the truth. So let's see who the government has gotten in bed with to try to prove their case against Hernandez Govan. Robert? So the man you have to believe is the man who's capable of, in broad daylight, carrying an AK-47, going into a store full of people, and just the government has gotten in bed with. So the man you have to believe is the man who's capable of, in broad daylight, carrying an AK-47, going into a store full of people, and just without hesitation, opening fire. And he's the one that's gonna tell you that Mr. Govan did this, this, and this. Nothing that he says can be validated. The other thing the government's gonna try to talk to you about is cell phone tower records. The expert that the government may call, or if they don't call him, I'll call him, will tell you tower records are inherently unreliable because it's not like on TV. There's a reason why all the engineers from the cell phone providers, T-Mobile, AT&T specifically write their letters. They will not testify in court because of unreliability. The other thing you have to know, and Robert put up the slide, within a 10 square mile area of where all this happened, there are 553 T-Mobile towers. 553 just from T-Mobile. And it's hard to see this because there's so many. There will be more AT&T towers. There will be this, essentially over 1,000 towers out there. And what the expert will tell you is this isn't an exact science. Just because your phone pings on a certain tower doesn't mean you were there. See, towers get filled up and you may have to transfer to the next tower near. All these people live within a couple of mile radius. So of course it's going to hit all these towers. But there is 553 just from T-Mobile within that area where all this happened. They talk to you about conspiracy and how Govan picked these two individuals. The state chooses to cherry pick a little bit here and a little bit there from each of the statements. But let me play a 5-second clip about how all this supposedly happened. I'm not saying it happened. I'm not saying Govan is involved in one way, shape, or form, but if you want to believe Cornelius Smith, the AK-47 shooter, and God knows how many other shootings he's done, and he'll talk about it. I want you to listen to this.
It was one day, me and Angela was out riding, and I wanted some X pills, so I went to Quay House to get the X pills from him, and Juke was over there. And when I walked in, there was one quick told Juke, this little seat right here, and my Juke was like, he don't know. First, he said, take all the phones outside, you know. He ain't say my phone, he was saying quit phone, but I passed my phone to make it feel comfortable. So, took the phones outside, and Juke was like, he don't know how to get them, he got us. And I can't recall like exactly when it was, but that's what he said.
All right. So the state just told you to your face that Mr. Govan picked out two desperate people. Cornelius Smith, if you are to believe him, says in his statement, I just happened to be going by Quet's house, Govan's house, to buy some ecstasy pills with my girlfriend. Juke happened to be there. He doesn't say Quet said a word. Juke says there's a hit on everybody and I got you. And Juke says, take the phones outside while I talk to you. Assuming you believe any of that's true. And the reason I ask you if you think any of that's true is the police never went to question Juke, aka Anthony Mims, or Yogati, or any of the people with CMG. Never once even tried to do an interview. So this is as plain as day. Juke said do it. Quet didn't say anything. Quet lives in the poorest part of Memphis in Orange Mound, sells a few ecstasy pills to make a living, and hustles with some sports gambling. He's a nobody, and that's why I asked you about him.
He looked mad as hell. This man looked mad as hell. He mad because they snitched on him. That's what's wrong with him. Worst feeling in the world to be in jail and you got away with some shit and the motherfucker put you in that shit.
Peters. He's a throwaway that they can blame. Why did they not talk to Juke or anybody else with CMG? Ever. Now, Juke ended up getting killed in 2024, 2.5 years after the fact. Never arrested, never talked to, never interviewed, never pursued, never surveilled, nothing. The judge also told you when you assess credibility, you need to look at how well you remember this thing. Cornelius Smith cannot even tell you when he was propositioned to go kill somebody. The shooting happened in November 17, 2021. And the best the police can say is that this meeting, where just randomly happened, as Cornelius himself has said, was sometime between August and September, 3 months prior to the shooting taking place. 3 months. He will tell you there's no plan. All he was told by Jerk was there's a price on their heads. And that's kind of funny because when the cops, if they testify honestly, will tell you there have been multiple attempts on Mr. Dolph's life. Twice in Charlotte by other folks and once in Los Angeles. Everybody in Memphis knew there was a price on their head because there was a war between PRE and CMG. They were shooting each other. Yo Gotti's car was shot up here. The song 100 Shots came up after one of these things. There's a rivalry going on and people have been shooting. The police went through this. They know this. They also pulled YouTube videos where people are openly threatening to kill Dolph. It's in their slideshow. You know what they call their investigation? Operation Cookie Monster. That's how tasteful this whole thing has gotten with these folks. I'm sorry, my arms are shaking because I'm so furious that we're here as far as the trial goes. So the other thing the government hasn't told you when we talk about first impressions is for weeks prior to the November 17, 2021 shooting, nobody called Govan, talked to him, did anything, be it Justin Johnson or Cornelius Smith. What Cornelius will tell you, which the government didn't tell you, is that morning, it was Cornelius's daughter's birthday. But he gets a call from Justin Johnson and says, I got a car, let's go do something. They get in the car and they start driving around, just looking for somebody to kill. They just happened to see young Dolph's car going by. And they open fire. And they kill him. And the interesting thing is, even though nobody communicated with Govan for weeks prior to this, they didn't talk to him that morning. He didn't help him get the car. He didn't help him escape. He didn't tell him what to do. He didn't tell him where to go. He didn't do anything. It was a spontaneous issue between two young men that morning. They shot him. And you know why there's no plan? Because they just start calling random people after the shooting. They don't call Govan. They have to go someplace to get bandaged up as far as that goes. The people that help them never been charged as accessories to anything. They then get rid of whatever they need to get rid of. They left the car across the street from Govan's house on the middle of the street, in front of the street. So if there's some master plan, that may be one of the dumbest plans you could possibly have if you're going to kill the most important person, the most famous person in Memphis, as far as that goes. Again, there were no phone contacts for weeks prior to the shooting, especially in the morning. Govan wouldn't know that the Mercedes was used. The only way anybody finds out is social media blows up right away, and multiple people start calling Justin Johnson, including Govan, who knows him, because the word's out that Justin may have done this. Trayon Ingram is another word you'll hear. He actually carjacked the white Mercedes and then gave it to these gentlemen to use in the shooting. He's not charged in this case. He's not even charged with carjacking. But he happened to pick up another murder right after this happened, and so now he's in custody for the other murder that he committed. Perhaps when making first impressions, you would have wanted to know that. I thought about going over at least one of Cornelius's statements in his lives, but I think it's just a little too much. We would be here for about 2 hours going through everything that he said has been inconsistent, bald-faced lies. In fact, you know how somebody's lying? Because in his first interview, that lasted a little over an hour, 32 times he told the police, trust me, I promise, I swear to God, I wouldn't lie to you. 32 times he says that before answering one of his questions on one of his first interviews after he's caught. And after he's caught, his girlfriend gets questioned because they ran down the license plate numbers, all that stuff with the cars. She lies through her teeth on December 14th of 2021, says, I don't know nothing about nothing. Because Cornelius had talked to her and tried to make up a false alibi. See, where's the plan in all this? See, if I have a plan to go kill somebody, we have a place to go dig something far away. I have people that can cover for me as an alibi. I don't make random phone calls. And so Angela, who knew nothing about this, according to her, picks them up at the location where they're getting bandaged up for being shot, drives them around town, helps them out. Of course, she's not charged. She initially lies and denies everything. The police then come back and say, we're gonna charge you if you don't tell us the truth. And so on the 17th of December, 3 days later, she comes back. But what the police don't know at that time is Mr. Cornelius Smith has called 4 of his family members to reach out to Angela to get the story straight. Because he keeps saying on the jail phone calls, find out what she said, find out what she said, find out what she said. And then on the 17th, it comes back and they're talking to her. And she says, well, we went over to that house sometime in the past, just like we talked about. She doesn't know anybody. She said, I can't think of his name. And the interesting part is the officers say, is it somebody named Q? And then she says, oh yeah, it's Quet.
Bugs and pests are the worst kind of house guests. Stop them before they move in with Franklin Pest Solutions. Franklin Pest Solutions. Send them packing. Call us for a free consultation.
Remember the phrase Bobby Carter that they mentioned? Bobby Carter also lives on Bradley Avenue. They're good friends with Cornelius Smith. They buy pills together and do ecstasy pills together. And the other thing Angela Smith says is, Govan brought us the phone after the fact. How was that part of any plan or anything else? They called and said, give me a phone. The interesting thing about that is if it's true and you believe her, there would be fingerprints on the car. The police fingerprinted it, DNA'd it, did everything. Cornelius' fingerprints are there. Trayon Ingram's fingerprints are there. Kirsten Garner, the other guy that worked with Trayon to steal the car, his fingerprints are there. There's DNA in there. There's blood in there. But nothing with regards to Govan. They found the car 3 days after the shooting took place across the street from Mr. Govan's house. Has nothing to do with him, didn't touch it. So if he didn't do that, how does he open the door? And frankly, how did he get the keys to open the door? See, Cornelius doesn't give you the details. Did they lock the car after he left? Where were the keys? He doesn't know about any of that stuff. So tell me how Mr. Govan got into the car and how he did it so beautifully, being dumb enough to take the murder car of one of the most famous people and say, let's just park it across the street, and then somehow magically wipe his prints, DNA, hair, anything out of that car while he's looking for the phone. You know why that is? Because he didn't do it. What you're going to hear from Trayon Ingram is Trayon Ingram, when he stole the car, left his backpack, his wallet, and some other things in the car. And he had Justin Johnson go get them. You will hear that from Trayon Ingram's own statement with regards to that car. This is why I talk about first impressions, because they always could be misleading, and in this case, patently false. When you cherry pick the evidence that you want to tell you, and then have the cameras rolling on a high-profile case to pressure you to commit a verdict of guilty, is patently unfair. And just because he's a nobody and doesn't have money like Gotti or Joke, his brother, who were never even questioned or charged, he's the fall guy on all this stuff. He didn't do anything. Even if you believe Cornelius, all he says is, I just happened to show up there, and he said, hey, this is Lil Zay. Joke took over and started doing all the talking. Do you think that man could pay somebody $100,000 and you'd say, yeah, he's good for it. I don't need any validation. He's good for it. And interestingly enough, Cornelius' story also changes along with Angela's, because initially we were supposed to be paid $1.5 million. Then after another interview, it became $1 million. Then it became $500,000. Then it became $100,000. Then it became, we're going to split $100,000 between me and Justin Johnson. Then it became, somebody gave me $50,000 in a brown paper bag. Then it became, oh no, I'm wrong about that. It was after I was arrested. Somebody gave my lawyer $38,000 in a bag to represent me. That's how many times the story has shifted as far as that goes. But the one thing that he does say is, after I got the money from Mr. Joke's people, it was understood that he was on that team. Again, Joke never arrested, never talked to, even though he says that's where the money's coming from. That guy doesn't have $1 million or $100,000 or anything like that. I may walk around wearing fancy ties, but he's indicated. The judge has found that. I'm here to help him, because people that are labeled as nobodies, I will not tolerate it. He needs to be fought for. He is your peer. We need to do this right. Mr. Govan, stand up. Hold your head up high. Mr. Govan matters. You can't do this to people just for political gain because you got to solve a crime because somebody famous died. It's just wrong. But you can sit down. We can't have a society like this where you base convictions on assault rifle people opening up fire on somebody. And you remember when I told you he couldn't even remember when that meeting was, that random meeting? The best thing he could do is remember that the meeting was sometime between when he tried to shoot Wu or somebody else. That's the best he could do as far as that goes. And so you have to believe if this meeting happened, for 3 months nothing goes on, and then one day it just happens. Remember I asked you about pork chops and chicken and all that kind of stuff? If you're going to do something, even if you have a plan and it changes. If you believe any of that, he didn't have any plan. If you have a plan, you have a place to go. You have a place to hide out. You have an alibi built in. None of that happens. None of that happens. And Mr. Cornelius Smith is going to get up here and tell you, I want to bare my soul. I want to come clean. I want to do all this other stuff. You know, I call BS on that hard because when he tells you that, he will. Because he's testified to it before that he wants to bare his soul. He wants to make amends. And ask yourself, why for 4 years didn't he just take a guilty plea and take his life sentence and start making amends?
No offense, but if you're paying more than $30 a month on car insurance,
Doesn't play anything. His lawyers in negotiations with the government. There's quote no deal, but you know, we do good things out of our heart when we're caught dead, red-handed murdering somebody. Because we don't want any benefit by coming on the stage and telling you whatever you guys want to hear. 6 times with interviews, 6 potentially more times with the government, more interviews. The truth doesn't change. You don't have to remember it. You don't have to practice it. You don't have to rehearse it. It is what it is. And this is not the truth. I think I mentioned it in jury selection, but responsibility for your actions goes both ways. There's going to be a lot lacking in this case. For example, you'll hear about a lot of cell phone records and who may have called who, but the full-on analysis was never, well, I'll just leave that for the expert. It's all coming down to Cornelius and possibly where somebody's phone might have been. You don't know what they said, if they even talked, or if as a friend you're calling somebody after a shooting because everybody starts calling everybody within minutes after this, because social media blew up after this happened. You all know it. You all heard it. Everybody knew about it. Govan is your peer. He deserves better. We shouldn't be here. High profile TV cameras or not. Sympathy for a young man.
It sound good. It sound good as hell. He made that shit sound good.
And who's a musician, whatever he was. Nobody deserves to die. But you don't compound the problem by blaming innocent people for it. And even if you don't want to believe he's innocent, you want to believe Cornelius, they sure as heck didn't prove the case beyond a reasonable doubt. I talked to you guys about that like the British system. It's either guilty or they didn't prove it. So I'm asking you to at least at a minimum say he didn't prove it in about 3 or 4 days from now. Thank you.
The state calls Erica Thornton.
He definitely made it sound good.
You swear or affirm to tell the truth?
Yes.
Steve, watch your step.
morning, Mr. Hopkins.
Good morning.
Could you state for the benefit of our jurors who may be taking notes, could you state your name and spell your first and last name?
Raul Hopkins, RAULHOPKINS.
And I am gonna ask you to speak up.
Yes, ma'am.
That's okay.
Yes.
So I wanna make sure that our court reporter can hear you and our jurors can hear you, okay?
Yes, ma'am.
Mr. Hopkins, do you know an individual by the name of Adolph Thornton Jr.?
Yes, ma'am.
How do you know Mr. Thornton?
From the neighborhood.
Okay. And you know him from the neighborhood, how long have you known him?
Some years. Probably about 20-some years.
And other than knowing him from the neighborhood, did you have any other relationship with him?
No,
Mr. Thornton? What did Mr. Thornton do for a living?
he was a hip hop artist.
Okay. And did you provide any services to him in relation to being a hip hop artist?
Yes, ma'am. Security.
Okay. And how long have you done security for Mr. Thornton?
7 years.
What was Mr. Thornton's, you said he was a hip hop artist, was he affiliated with a certain label?
Yes, ma'am.
What label was that?
PRE.
I'd like to pass forward a picture to see if you recognize this picture.
No objection.
Do you recognize that picture?
Yes, ma'am.
And what is that picture of?
Picture of the chain, his label, PRE.
Ernie, if we could have that entered into evidence as the next one.
No objection.
This is a charm that's of the 3 letters PRE. We'll mark this as exhibit 2 to the trial.
Commissioner Publisher.
Yes, ma'am.
Again, Mr. Hopkins, could you explain to the jurors what they hear?
That's his chain, PRE.
And what did PRE stand for?
Paper Route Entertainment.
Did he have any issues with other labels?
Yes, ma'am.
What label was that?
CMG.
And what does CMG stand for?
I really don't know, what it stands for.
All right, CMG. Well, let's go back a bit. Who are some of the other artists that are on the PRE label?
Several artists that they have that's on this label. A guy named Kenny, a guy named
Wu?
Yeah.
Okay.
He just had a lot of different artists on this label.
And would Wu be the same person as Paper Route Wu?
Yeah.
And the label you mentioned, CMG, that he had conflict with, that Mr. Thornton had conflict with. Who are some of the artists on that label if you're familiar?
The one that I knew of was Yokai.
And there were conflicts, is that correct?
Yes.
But what was the origin of that conflict?
Really about music, maybe a diss song here or there.
Did CMG ever at any point want Mr. Thornton, professionally known as Young Dolph, is that right?
Yes,
Did they ever want Young Dolph to sign to their label?
yes, ma'am.
Would that be the beginning of their issue?
Could have been.
Okay. Did Mr. Thornton or Young Dolph ever sign to their label?
No, ma'am.
He's had his own label, PRE, is that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Were there any acts of violence between these individuals, PRE and CMG?
Yes, ma'am.
Was that before or after you became involved as the bodyguard?
It was after.
Tell us about the first one that you remember, first incident that you remember.
First incident I remember was in 2015.
And I'm asking you to speak up as well.
It was in 2015. We was in Charlotte. We were sitting in the Sprinter. We had just went upstairs. There was 2 more individuals that was in the Sprinter, came running up saying the Sprinter just got shot up.
When you say Sprinter, it's like
Sprinter van.
Sprinter van.
Yes, ma'am.
You were where now?
I was upstairs.
No, what city? I'm sorry.
Oh, it was in Charlotte.
In Charlotte.
Yes, ma'am.
So the Sprinter van was shot up.
Yes.
Was Mr. Thorne in the van at that point?
No, ma'am.
Where was he at this point?
We was upstairs.
But you had just gotten out of the Sprinter van?
Yes, ma'am.
And did you learn of anyone who was responsible for this shooting?
They said something on the news, but really don't know who actually done it.
What was the next incident that you recall?
Next incident was in 2017 in Charlotte.
And it was again in, you said Charlotte?
Charlotte, yes,
So Charlotte twice?
yes, ma'am.
Okay, tell us about that incident.
I wasn't there, but from what I known, that his SUV got shot up.
And who are you saying he? What he?
Young Dolph.
Young Dolph,
Yes,
SUV.
yes, Young Dolph SUV got shot up.
And was he hurt?
No, ma'am.
Was there another incident? Oh, do you know who was responsible for that?
No, ma'am. I don't.
There was another incident. What was the next incident?
2018 in Los Angeles, California.
Were you present for that?
No, ma'am.
Did you learn about what happened?
Yes, ma'am.
Could you tell us about what you learned?
I was at a baseball game. Somebody called me and said, Young Dolph just got shot in California. And that's how I heard about that.
And did you then go to California?
Yes, ma'am. I went there the next morning.
Okay. You know who was possibly responsible for that incident?
No, I don't.
Let's fast forward to 2021. Let's actually fast forward to November 2021. Did Young Dolph have an event or something big going on during November 2021?
Yes, ma'am. Every November, he would do a turkey drive for the community.
And explain us what you mean by turkey drive.
He would go to several communities and give out turkeys.
And would he do this personally?
Yes.
Did he also have members of his label there as well?
Yes, ma'am.
In November of 2021, was he in Memphis doing that?
He was in Memphis, but he didn't participate in the turkey drives.
Is there any particular reason why he did not participate in the turkey drive?
He just told me he had other stuff he had to do. He wanted to make sure his artists was doing what they supposed to do.
And so how many of these different turkey drives would there be?
Before.
Before?
Yes.
Would they be all on one day or would they be spread out?
They be spread out. It was Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Friday.
And is this around a certain time? Is it, you mentioned turkeys, I always think of turkeys and Thanksgiving. Was this around Thanksgiving?
It was the week before Thanksgiving.
So you mentioned about him being in town. Did he live in Memphis? The Young Dolph live?
No, ma'am.
Okay. So was he visiting that week?
And he came in because of the turkey drive.
When did you last hear from Young Dolph?
I last heard from Young Dolph, it was that Tuesday about 7 o'clock. I seen him.
7 o'clock, AM or PM?
PM.
You saw him?
Yes.
And did you learn did you hear from him after that?
No, I didn't.
What was the next that you heard of young Dolph?
It was that Wednesday morning, about 11:30,
And what did you hear?
that he just got shot.
Have you previously reviewed video from that incident?
Yes, ma'am.
Private passport, flash drive? Does it look familiar?
Yes, ma'am.
And what is that of?
It's a flash drive with clips of video outside Makitas.
Could you open it in an envelope and see if that is the flash drive you previously reviewed?
Yes, ma'am.
And what did that flash drive, how do you know that was a flash drive?
Because I got my initials on here, RH.
And the video that you viewed, what is it a video of?
A video of young Dolph at Makitas.
Your Honor, if we could have that enter into evidence as the next time.
No objection.
This is an envelope with the flash drive on the inside. Envelope is labeled flash drive with clips of video inside, outside, and keys. We'll mark this as exhibit 3 to this trial.
Permission to vote.
Okay?
Imagine bringing your side project to life just by thinking about it. Meet Base 44, a complete AI creation platform. Describe what you want and watch it take shape. You can
Mr. Hopkins, can you read the date at the top of this video?
November 17th.
Do you recognize this vehicle that is coming into play?
Yes, ma'am.
And whose vehicle is that?
That's young Dolph's.
We can pause the video right here. Mr. Hopkins, do you recognize the individual in the photo, the video right here?
Yes, ma'am.
And who is the person in the video?
That's young Dolph.
We see a second individual coming out of the video. Who is that?
That's his brother Marcus.
Mr. Hopkins, do you recognize the individual in the photo, the video?
Yes, ma'am.
And who is the person in the video?
That's young Dolph.
We see a second individual coming out of the video. Who is that?
That's his brother Marcus.
We can pause the video right here. Mr. Hopkins, do you recognize the individual in the photo, the video right here?
Yes, ma'am.
And who is the person in the video?
That's young Dolph.
We see a second individual coming out of the video. Who is that?
That's his brother Marcus.
I'm not just an explosion. I'm 2,500 frames per second of
there is someone or something at the bottom. You can pause the video right here. Mr. Hopkins, do you recognize the individual in the the video right here?
Yes, ma'am.
And who is the person in the video?
That's young Dolph.
We see a second individual coming out of the video. Who is that?
That's his brother Marcus.
Bro, tried to get them niggas.
You can pause the video right here. Mr. Hopkins, do you recognize the individual in the the video right here?
Yes, ma'am.
And who is the person in the video?
That's young Dolph.
We see a second individual coming out of the video. Who is that?
That's his brother Marcus. No.
We see a second individual coming out of the video. Who is that?
That's his brother Marcus.
see a second individual coming out of the vehicle. Who is that?
That's his brother Marcus. No.
We see a second individual coming out of the vehicle. Who is that?
That's his brother Marcus. That's his brother Marcus.
Them shots that hit Cornelius, it made him jump back. Broski needed two of them motherfuckers.
There is someone or something at the bottom left of the screen. I apologize, our laser pointer is having technical difficulties at this point. But who is, or what is that at the bottom left of the screen?
That's young Dolph. I think that's his arm hanging out.
This is who you're referring to.
Yes, ma'am.
And this is Marcus who you're referring to, is that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
And just one quick announcement. Starting on Wednesday,
Jarvis, what up?
To now play what you've identified, Chris identifies to be on the inside of the Makita's cookies.
Jarvis, what's poppin'?
The individual at the front counter, who's that?
That's young Dolph.
And there's an individual behind him, who is that?
That's his brother Marcus.
referring to as Young Domo? Mr. Hopkins?
Yes, ma'am.
And Mr. Hopkins, we've seen, the inside and outside of the cookie shop today that Mr. Govan was killed, is that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
You were not with him that day.
No, ma'am.
Why were you not with him?
He had me doing other things. He wanted me to be with the other artists.
And did you go to the scene of the cookie shop that day?
Yes, ma'am.
Is their location here in Shelby County?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
You're crazy, bro. Tell the deputy where you want it.
I'll just put it here so the court reporter can hear me. Thank you. Can you all see okay? Okay. Mr. Hopkins, my name is Manny Aurora. How are you doing this morning?
Fine, sir.
I'm sorry for your loss. Obviously, this is very troubling. No one should ever have to be killed violently like that. So I sympathize with you. We spoke on the phone when you were coming in from the airport this past weekend. Is that right?
Yes, sir.
All right. And you worked as the bodyguard for Mr. Dolph.
Yes, sir.
Was it you and other people as part of the team?
It was, but it was ma'am to me.
Okay, so you were the boss.
Yes.
You mentioned to the prosecutor that there was a history of violence between PRE and CMG. Is that correct? And as I saw from this, and not trying to be negative anyway, but Mr. Dolph travels with an assault rifle in his car, as we saw his brother pull that out from the driver's side.
I don't know if he traveled with it, but he had it that day.
Okay, and have you seen him with other weapons in the past?
I haven't, no, sir.
Okay. And his brother had his handgun and he was shooting at the other people, as we saw in the video.
Yes, sir.
And then he pulled out the assault rifle from the driver's side and shot some more at the people.
Yes, sir.
With regards to the violence that goes back and forth between these two music groups, you personally know of at least 3 attempts on Dolph's life: 2016, 2015, 2017, and 2018. Is that right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And so he needed security, obviously. I mean, there's lots of problems going on here.
Yes, sir.
All right.
Hendrix Gin invites you to follow your curiosity.
And with regards to coming to Memphis on the week before Thanksgiving, Mr.
Yo, I'm out. Good for tapping in with me, man. Y'all keep doing y'all thing. Man, RP Dolph, man. Govan, he finna go under the ground. It's proof. But y'all chill, man. Y'all, we'll see, man. Y'all need to come tap in with me for real. Y'all don't want to never tap in with me. Y'all always be on bull, but I'm gonna stay focused. I ain't gonna even worry about that. I got real people tapping in with me, bro. Like, man, it don't take that much to tap in. But we gonna tap in, though. Hit me up, though. Ghetto DVD, bang, 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 get money gang. We out here.